For the past couple of nights, I've been informing on the St. Patrick's Day events going on in the Heartland. But why do we celebrate this day of green and good luck? The story behind St. Patrick's Day begins around the 4th century when a young British boy named Patrick was kidnapped to Ireland to become a slave. It wasn't until a few years later this boy grew up and developed a strong faith in God and Ireland. This man would become who we know as St. Patrick.
And he eventually escaped from Ireland, went back to England, then became a priest and eventually a bishop, and always had kind of a dream of returning to Ireland and bringing Christianity. So he did return there in his mid-40s to become basically the missionary to Ireland, and Ireland became Christianized fairly quickly. He was very effective in his ministry.
After his death on March 17th in the early 5th century, the Irish wanted Patrick's memory to live on by remembering him every year on this date and patronized him as a saint.
And it grew into a celebration, first of all, of faith, Christian faith, then also kind of Irish culture, and the people of Ireland really kind of just grew into a large celebration, which then kind of spilled over and was taken to the various parts of the world, and it's turned into a big celebration.
But what about the significant icons behind St. Patrick's Day, such as the shamrock, pot of gold, and the leprechaun? Do they have a special meaning?
You know, we associate green with Ireland, and so green became the color that was worn and that was associated with St. Patrick. And the shamrock has a religious significance. The legend has that St. Patrick took the shamrock and its usual 3 leaves. He used that as a symbol of the Trinity, of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, to help them understand God. The leprechaun really doesn't have a religious significance. It was kind of in the Irish folklore, it was a cantankerous character who had the responsibility of taking care of the shoes of the other fairies, and so he was kind of, that was where he originated. And then the Americanized version created this more happy and jolly, smiling fellow.
What about the concept behind good luck? Does it have a connection with St. Patrick?
His faith, his goodness, that would bring blessing, and so that probably is more of the word we'd associate with St. Patrick, yeah. So really the word blessing, I think religiously we would use the word blessing. Probably more culturally we would tend to use the word luck for, you know, good things that'll happen to you.
No matter what your plans are on St. Patrick's Day, we should stop to remember a man who had faith and spread it to a now cheerful and strong-spirited Ireland that we know today. Reporting from Kirksville, Vanessa Alonso, KTVO News.